twist as possible so that he can...
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Yeah. No, don't do that, boys. Hey, don't do it. Hey.
Because you know, we're talking about the surgery.
You guys are criminals! You are criminals! You are conducting a criminal act here!
So with the pre-op check, it needs to happen before the surgery.
Hey,
it won't happen tomorrow.
we've been talking to you like rational people and now you're just removed. You got it. You are criminals.
Today I want to talk about this New Zealand baby situation. Also want to mention that if you haven't been to my main channel, I have a series of Vlogmas episodes going on over there. You might want to check that out. The story behind this is this couple lost custody, temporary custody of their child through a court case with the hospital because they have a baby who needs an operation and they want the baby to get unvaccinated blood. So they took the hospital to court over the right to have say over having unvaccinated blood, and they allegedly lost the case. So the hospital has temporary custody over their baby to perform this procedure against the parents' wishes using vaccinated blood. So this is the story, and now they're documenting their journey a la cell phone for all to see. Let's play a little bit of this video.
We'll have his pre-op checks before a surgery that's scheduled and that can't be changed. Well, it can be changed.
I think, like, the baby needs as much rest as possible so that he can...
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Yeah. No, don't do that, boys.
Alright, there's just a few things to point out here. First of all, why are they filming? They're not really saying very much. They just started filming for what reason? Well, the reason they started filming is because they knew that the cops were going to come in to take their baby and they wanted to catch it on video. So they started filming it beforehand to make it seem like they didn't know that they were coming in. This footage is foggy photo footage. It's out of focus, and today's technology, we have 4K available on cell phones. So foggy photo footage, there's no excuse for it.
As much rest as possible so that he can...
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Yeah. No, don't do that, boys. Hey, don't do it. Hey.
Because you know, we're talking about the surgery.
You guys are criminals! You are criminals! You are conducting a criminal act here!
So the news story goes that the baby needed to have a pre-op examination. They came in without telling the parents what was going on, and so the parents are outraged and they think that their kid's being kidnapped, which is ridiculous. I mean, a normal reaction would be to ask what's going on. But there's no way that any hospital would ever do anything like this, no matter what the situation. You would always inform the parents, always. This reaction is over the top.
So with the pre-op check, it needs to happen before the surgery.
Hey,
it won't happen tomorrow.
we've been talking to you like rational people and now you're just removed. You got it.
Another thing, these two cops are explaining to the parents why they're taking the baby away, but they were just sitting down with the parents calmly talking about, I don't know what. They could have told the parents then. So why is this a shock? Allegedly, the court just decided that they needed to take the baby, so they came and took the baby within a matter of minutes. I don't believe that. They had every opportunity to tell the parents what was going on before they took the baby.
You are criminals. You...
Okay, this is really kind of lame acting. A parent who sees that their baby is going to be taken away would not react this way. A woman whose child is being threatened, you cannot stop her. She would plow past these cops and grab her baby. Either you've surrendered to the verdict and you have allowed the hospital to take custody of the child, or you have not. If you have not, you would take the kid out of the hospital and go elsewhere, because you are here in the hospital with your baby, knowing that they're coming to get the baby. They're not going to just come in the middle of the night out of nowhere and take the child without you knowing. It doesn't add up. You can't have it both ways. Sitting here waiting for them to come, and she gets up and cries about it, but she doesn't go and get her baby. Doesn't make sense.
Hey, guys, move out! Move out the way! You guys are acting like criminals. You are acting like criminals.
So he has to make sure that he says you're acting like criminals so that the viewer understands that what they're doing is wrong. I mean, I don't know what this woman over here is doing. But this cop's not doing anything. This cop's not doing anything. Why are they even there? And they don't push past the cops. And the guy's like, this guy is physically bigger than the cops. And he just says, get out of the way, get out of the way. Seriously, like, if your child was in physical danger, you would plow past these cops. Do you think a woman, grown woman, is going to allow someone to take her baby? Hell no.
All of you are criminals.
Hey guys, calm down, please.
You are criminals. You are a criminal. You are a criminal. You are a criminal, and so are you. And so.
So all this arguing is going on in a space that's a hospital for children. There's no other parents in this room. It's just them and their baby. And even their baby doesn't make any noise while these people are yelling and screaming.
So are you.
Can you guys just give them some space, please?
You are a criminal. You will not be part of the surgery tomorrow. We do not authorise any of that.
I just want to tell you what's happening.
No, we're not listening to what you got to say.
Like, who is this woman? Why? She's filming something. She's still just standing here, useless, whimpering. And this guy's just saying, oh, you're not going to be in the surgery tomorrow. Well, where are they taking the kid if they're taking the kid now? If the surgery is tomorrow, why are they taking the kid now? And why are they having this drama?
Why did you do that? He's going to be okay.
No, he is not going to be okay.
And we need to take him for his... We need to take him and we need to do...
You are criminals.
You will be able to see him after the surgery.
You guys are criminals.
So this lady was standing on the left here. So she goes over to pick up the baby. Like, who is this woman? What is her role? Who is she? Why is she doing this?
You are going to be recorded in the annals of time as criminals who come in here and take babies from their mothers. Do you understand that? Do you guys are even listening to me? Do you understand that you have just kidnapped a baby from its mother without the consent of their parents? You guys have got to understand.
So this guy is narrating the situation just so you're clear on what's going on. That's why he's all upset. He's got to tell you exactly what's happening here. But these cops just stand here and don't do anything.
And that you're criminals.
And we need to
I
do the
understand,
surgery.
but you can't just take my baby like that.
You guys are criminals.
Please.
You've got to realise
I
that
need
you are
to be
now
with
involved
him.
in a criminal
Did you not
action.
see his eyes? Did you not see his eyes? Did you not
We need
see
to do
him?
the operation so that...
No, you do not need to do the operation.
We need to do...
No.
So there's more to the story
Please,
here.
can I just go down with him?
Hey, we can give you some time in here.
Hey, we don't need any time. You guys are criminals. You
Shush, please, excuse me. I just need to be.
You guys need to get out.
So, please,
I'm listening to you.
No, you're not.
please,
You're not listening.
you can't do that. I just need to be with him. I will go with him. You can do what you need to do, but I need to be with him because he needs to be with his mother. Please.
This doesn't make any sense. So they literally took the baby from her in front of her. She didn't do anything to stop it. She's just crying and whimpering and making noise. And then she says to the nurse who tells her that they have to take the baby for some sort of procedure. Now she's not upset about the fact that the baby's been taken, but she's got to be with the baby. So why is she crying? Why is she... You can't do this. You can't take my baby. I need to be with the baby. Come on, lady. If you know your child needs a procedure done and you're in the hospital for that procedure to be done, and they come and take your baby to go and do that procedure, you've already consented by having the baby in the hospital in the first place. The whole thing is sheer lunacy.
Mate, show your humanity.
Please,
Show your manners.
please. I just need to...
We will talk to the hospital staff, okay? Now,
Hey, what good's that going to do?
Shush, shush, shush. You can't just rip him out of the bed like that, please.
the
Disgusting
hospital staff has taken the baby for the pre-operation checks, okay?
Against our will.
Shush, shush.
That is in line with the order of the High Court. and they're doing what they need to do now tonight
I just
for the
need
operation tomorrow.
I just need to be next to him.
It just would not happen this way. If you had your baby taken into a hospital, you have already given permission for them to do what they need to do by the kid being physically in the hospital. All this drama is bullshit. And now they've taken the baby already, allegedly without their permission. You've given the permission. The baby's in the hospital. You know it has an operation the next day. So what is this drama all about? And now the cop is telling her why they took the baby. They would have told the parents ahead of time. They wouldn't just come take the baby without your permission. And now the cop is telling her after the fact that this is what's going on. And how does the cop even know? The cop is not a doctor. The cop isn't aware of what is going on with the hospital. It's all fake.
Please.
It's not.
Please.
We're prepared to work with you in that, but
Thank
we
you.
really need to have,
Shush.
we need to be able to converse like we are
Okay,
now.
can I just be there with him? You can do all of that stuff, but I need to be there with him.
Yeah, and that's something we can negotiate with the hospital.
Okay,
for you.
let's do it.
But
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, but listen, but in terms of what's going on, hey, look, know that I'm a parent too, and I don't pretend to know what you're going through at the moment. But I can't imagine that, you know, what you're thinking at the moment and what you're going through.
If any of you are real men, you wouldn't have conducted yourself like this.
She's going to see if she can get you with her. Just
Yeah.
okay.
Real men don't act like this.
Sit down. Sit
Are
down.
you guys like hearing what I'm
Sit down,
saying?
Sam.
Real men don't act like what you've just acted like.
She's going to see what she can do.
Let's have an intelligent conversation. Throwing insults isn't going to work.
Hey, I'm not insulting you. I'm telling you the truth.
Honestly, that's lucky.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, and like I said, we're prepared to work with you to make that happen.
But yeah,
Okay, so this woman must be a parent of another child in the room. So why is she so invested in this other woman's drama? Like they're friends or something. And this woman is negotiating for the mother to be with her baby, yet the mother is still arguing with the cop. Doesn't make any sense.
Can we just go now then?
you weren't prepared to work with us from the very beginning.
You can't go to where they've gone right now.
Why not?
Sam,
They're just,
she's
we
talking.
will talk through it, okay?
You know that nurse is crying too because you know this is so wrong.
Know that everyone involved and everyone in this room is upset about the situation. I don't want to be here as much as
You don't have to.
I just love how the cop makes it about himself. Everybody in this room doesn't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
everyone involved and everyone in this room is upset about the situation. I don't want to be here as
Everybody in this room is upset. I don't want to be here. Oh my god, cop. Seriously? I can't believe you just said that. Read the room, guy. Read the room. You're in a room with upset parents whose baby's been taken from them. And you're making it about you. I don't want to be here. If you don't want to be here, do something about it, you dumbass. Oh my god. Okay, what else have we got?
Okay, it's okay. We just need to be next to him. Oh. I can't believe I just went to
You knew that was going to happen. They got no humanity. So let's go down there.
No, just wait. I don't want to. I just need. Darling, just let me just go down there. I just need to be next to him. Okay.
Just stay here. The nurse is going to see what she can do. Can you just... I know that's real hard doing this one, so you can... No. Sam, it's not going to get anything. The cop just said that it will, because I said chuck your badge in and come on our side, we will fundraise for you because he's got a family to feed. And I said, I promise you we will get you enough money. He said he's going to do better, him staying in that job. So I hope it does mean something.
Well, I can't make sense of what she just said there. She's saying that she talked to the cop who, I guess the one who doesn't want to be there. Chuck your badge in and we'll make a fundraiser to get you enough money. Like, you really think you're going to convince a cop? I mean, I'm sure this drama will convince the cop to chuck his badge in. Oh, I'm outraged. So she's trying to get the cop to chuck his badge in over this. Like, you can't guarantee that you're going to make fundraise enough money to support this guy's family after he's chucked his job in. And not just left, not just left his job, but left the force. Like, I don't want to be a cop anymore. What is he going to do? And how many years are you going to be able to fund this guy's income by encouraging him to chuck his badge in over this? Like, honestly, nothing is happening here. And they have to take the baby for pre-op. So they're fully aware that they have to take the baby for pre-op. They're making all this drama for nothing. The cops aren't even there anymore. Where did the cops go? If it was so important that the cops had to be there, they needed 3 cops. They needed 3 police officers to be in the room, just sitting there chatting until they took the baby. They have these cops in the room to prevent the parents from stealing the baby, because the baby is now under the care of the hospital, and so the parents are not allowed to take the baby. But the parents still know that the baby needs the operation. The parents still know that the baby's going to have the operation. The parents have still consented to the operation because he said, you can't be at the operation tomorrow. So what is the problem with them taking the baby for pre-op? And they should know that the baby needs to go for pre-op. This is all drama for nothing. And now they're trying to get the cop to resign?
I hope it does mean something.
Well, it doesn't.
Not right now, but let's just hope he comes through.
These men are acting like subhumans. Hey, well, everyone, I don't know where this goes to around the world.
Okay, this is priceless. He turns around and talks to the camera. So, I can understand why. But what does he expect humanity to do on his behalf? He himself is the father of this baby. I'm guessing he's the father of this baby. And he has no rights, and he has no ability to do anything for his child. Nothing. So if he has no ability to do anything for his child, then what's all the fuss about? What's the stink about? You know this was going to happen.
But, our baby has just been medically kidnapped.
So the father's claiming the baby was medically kidnapped, but he knows the baby was taken by a nurse for a pre-op examination, so that's a lie.
Thugs have come in wearing police uniforms, and they've ripped the baby out of his bed.
They ripped the baby out of his bed. That did not happen. The nurse gently picked up the baby from the crib and left the room, and the baby didn't even cry. None of this has happened.
And violently taken him out of the room.
Violently took the baby out of the room. I didn't see that happen. Now he's narrating this situation, and it didn't even happen this way. So if you clip this part out, they can make it look like it happened this way. But it didn't happen this way. He's lying. He's flat out lying.
They've threatened to arrest us all if we even pursue our baby. So let this be a lesson to the entire rest of humanity, is the takeover has actually started, and it started in a hospital ward with a baby. So I could have tried to do something, but I would just be in handcuffs on the floor getting...
The takeover. I don't know what he means by the takeover. The takeover has happened. Like, what takeover? What is he talking about? He's appealing to conspiracy theorists about this takeover, but he doesn't explain what it is. And he's like, I would have tried to do something. So don't stand there and tell us that you couldn't do anything to save your child. And if you're going to be arrested for it, so be it. You do what it takes to save your child.
Handcuffs on the floor getting beaten right now.
He's also making it more dramatic by saying he wouldn't just have been arrested. He would have been in handcuffs on the floor being beaten, to give you a visual of what he assumes would happen, because this hasn't happened yet. But this is what he is dramatizing to put a picture in your head that this is what would have happened if he had stood up for the rights of his child.
So, I call on humanity to arise.
He's calling on humanity to arise. Like, I don't understand what he wants humanity to do. To go down to the hospital and, with pitchforks and torches and say, this is wrong, and I bet you there'll be some people who do. But, what good is it going to do? Oh, there's a bunch of angry people outside protesting. We better not go forward with this. When their courts have decided that this is what was going to happen, allegedly, I don't know what he's expecting other people to do. If he himself, the father of the child, can't do anything, why is he expecting other people to do something? It's ridiculous. And unfortunately, all the people watching it believe it. I'm going to show you they use the exact template for every single one of these types of videos. There were a couple of events that happened that were very similar. This was May 2020, so we were still under house arrest type thing. Everybody was still in their homes. And this video was circulating with the claim that it had to do with coronavirus and that armed Gestapo police were coming into people's homes and removing them from their homes due to COVID violations. And this video had nothing to do with COVID, and the video itself was entirely staged.
After speaking to my partner yesterday, there's some concerns for your safety, right? We understand what your standpoint, right? The reason why you're doing what you're doing is to take a stand against the city, correct?
Not the city.
Government.
The government, okay, yes, the government.
Okay, so he's saying that the reason they are there is because he had a conversation with a colleague yesterday about his interaction with these two people yesterday. So whatever it was that happened yesterday is not mentioned in this video at all. And then they got a court order to come here today.
But as you know, what I can say from one person to another, human, how you said yesterday, from one human to another, it's a
wait. You're saying you're human.
This person was supposed to say human in order for them to have this conversation right now, because these people are being cast as conspiracy theorists in this whole sovereign citizen movement against the police, that they are not under their authority, which is what the whole video is about. And so this person is supposed to say the word human so that they can say their line about them not being human, because a lot of these people in the sovereign citizen movement against the police are claiming that these cops are not even human.
She's not a police officer.
Just let you know, I'm a mental health worker with St. Joseph's Hospital. We are part of a specialized unit, the Rapid Response Unit with Hamilton Police Services and St. Joseph's Hospital.
But
that's why I'm dressed.
come on, this normal clothes, you know why?
She declares herself to be a mental health worker from St. Joseph's Hospital as part of the Rapid Response Unit with Hamilton Police Services. These people were kind of known activists on a very small scale. They kind of made an example of them. They were planted. They're not real activists. You know, it's controlled opposition type of thing. They need to make these people look crazy. The video says that police took us from our home by force to psychiatric facility for our hunger strike. Police would not interfere. They would not take you for a hunger strike. It's totally absurd. This is another one that's identical in format.
Ultrasound in an hour.
Yeah, she's pregnant, so what's this about?
So they make it extra dramatic by saying she's pregnant, and I guess her husband, whoever's filming this, is so protective. He just films it and doesn't say, you know, what are you doing? Don't arrest my wife. Like, this is nonsense. I'm calling my lawyer or what have you. He does nothing to prevent it or stop it or question it. It's just, my wife is pregnant, let me film you.
That's why I'm arresting you in relation to
How can you arrest her? That's...
In front of my 2 children.
She urged people to attend an anti-lockdown protest in Ballarat this weekend.
I'm happy to delete the post. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
She could face a jail sentence of up to 15 years. All this just hours after Victoria's state of emergency powers were extended for another 6 months.
Well, that's quite convenient that it comes right before they extend the state of emergency, just so that they instill fear in people against protesting these restrictions. Now here's a follow-up to this woman's arrest situation.
Like, I was doing something, you know, standing up for human rights, and, you know, I'm just a passionate person, and I'm sick of the lockdowns, I'm sick of hearing about suicides. I personally lost my job.
She was used as an example to ward people off protesting when the lockdowns came back, and to warn people off encouraging others to attend and sharing stuff on social media. it's not real. You can't do that. It's not illegal. This stuff doesn't just fall into the news. The news doesn't just find these stories. They put them there.
Ellen says parents in court over their baby's heart surgery had previously allowed blood from vaccinated people to be used in a transfusion.
But the lawyer for the parents says that was only because it was an emergency and the baby shouldn't have to be treated with what she described as contaminated blood again.
So now they're saying that what is the point of this court case, basically? Because the parents already allowed their baby to be treated with vaccinated blood through a blood transfusion. This is an excellent point. Why is it that they are so upset that they're fighting now to get the right to choose whether or not their baby gets treated with unvaccinated blood after they've already allowed the hospital to give their baby a transfusion with vaccinated blood? I'm sorry, but once you've received vaccinated blood, you're not going to get it out of your system. It's done.
Health New Zealand has applied to have the child placed in the court's guardianship to ensure its surgery can go ahead. Alice Wilkins reports.
Cheered on by a crowd of supporters, the family at the centre of a debate over whether blood from vaccinated people should be used for their baby arrived at the High Court. They can't be identified because of an automatic court order. As hundreds of...
Look at all these people protesting. I mean, goodness gracious. My money is on that this is an organized protest. It's very difficult to get people off their asses, away from their couches, to go out and protest something. Unless they're like really passionate about it. But there's got to be somebody who organizes it and says, hey, let's go and protest. Pretty heavy turnout for the media. It's all a show.
Protesters continued their campaign outside. Indoors, Health New Zealand's lawyer said the urgency for the baby remains.
This baby is in uncharted territory. Nobody actually knows the degree of harm and the permanency of the harm that will be caused to his heart.
The 4-month-old has the heart condition pulmonary valve stenosis. He needs an operation to clear a severe obstruction in his valve.
His only option is surgery.
But while both Te Whatu Ora Health New Zealand and the baby's family want that operation, his parents don't want it carried out with blood transfusions from people who have had the COVID vaccine. And while vaccinated and unvaccinated New Zealanders can donate to the NZ Blood Service, the donations aren't kept separately.
Just as a delay can create risk for this baby, it's very clear that the blood that's contaminated can create a risk for this baby.
Today,
that's not very articulate. How about saying what risks? The problem is easily solved. Get somebody who has the same blood type and who hasn't been vaccinated to donate blood. So why the uproar and why the drama and why all of this kerfuffle? Because their argument is that they do have unvaccinated blood, but they mix it in with the vaccinated blood. Okay, but don't they identify whether it's been vaccinated or not? I mean, surely you keep a record of this sort of thing. Otherwise, how would you know? How would you know that this baby's received vaccinated blood? They're talking out of both sides of their mouths again. It's all nonsense.
The court heard that the baby had previously received a blood transfusion in hospital with consent from the parents.
A blood transfusion was actually given to the baby, and that blood transfusion was given with the baby's mother's consent. So it is curious that now such a firm position is taken now to further blood products.
But the family's lawyer, Sue Gray, said it was only consented to in the case of emergency.
But like, why is it even an issue? I would understand it if the hospital had a policy of not accepting unvaccinated blood donations. But apparently they don't. They have both. So if they have both and the parents say, I want unvaccinated blood for my baby, then why not just give it to them? What is the big deal? What is the issue here? Well, the issue is that they need to make a big drama out of it to stir up the passions of the people to get them all up in arms fighting over it. because it's all a big show.
The fact that they got away with it once doesn't mean that we should effectively play blood roulette and try it again.
The family says it has found its own unvaccinated donors who are willing to provide blood for the baby's surgery.
Okay, so there you go. They have people willing to donate blood. So what's the big deal? Why is it a problem? Obviously, the hospital doesn't have a policy against giving unvaccinated blood to people because they take unvaccinated blood donations. So if that's not a problem, then what is the problem? What is the problem?
Said many of them have been present here outside court today.
There's ample evidence that NZ Blood in the hospital can do it. It's just that they don't want to do it.
But the lawyer for Health New Zealand says they don't have any information about screening of those potential unvaccinated donors, and there is no other option than to proceed with surgery. Lawyers for the Blood Service say what the family is seeking is not in the best interests of the baby.
The whole point here is that the New Zealand Blood Service does not consider that it is distributing contaminated blood, and if it thought there was a serious argument that it was, of course it would not do that.
As the family left court to return to hospital, they spoke to supporters waiting outside.
Okay, again, what is the big deal? Why can't they take the blood of these people who are offering to provide it? They're saying they can do it, they just don't want to do it. It's sheer lunacy. And we're going to dictate to you and your child what's best for your child, and we think that you should receive vaccinated blood because we say so. It's lunacy.
Well, Alice joins us now. Kia ora, Alice. The baby was in court again today. Was anything said about that?
Yes, Mike, the child was in court until about lunchtime. Lawyers for Health New Zealand said that that was against medical advice because of the risk of any type of infection to the baby. But lawyers for the...
Oh, okay. So they brought the baby into court, but it was against... it was against their policy because it's a risk of infection for the baby. What kind of infection? Does it have a gaping open wound? Is it a viral infection? Is it exposure to COVID? Is it, like, what is the risk that we're talking about here? It's not allowed to be around people? Should it be in an incubator? Like, what is the problem? Because the footage we just saw of the baby in the hospital, it's in a room with about 5-6 adults yapping around, no masks on. So what is the exact risk that is posed to the child in bringing this child into court? If that's a problem, why did they bring it into court? Why is the hospital, who seems to be adamant about protecting this child from these crazy parents, allowing them to bring the baby into court? I mean, it sounds as if that's more dangerous than giving that baby unvaccinated blood.
Family said that it was the parents' right to make that decision. Now, as for a decision in this case, the judge has reserved that to be released at a later date, but says he is mindful of the urgency.
Okay, so like, how sick is this baby? Because in these videos, this baby is not hooked up to anything. It's just in a crib, and the nurse picked up the baby in her arms and took him out of the room. It's not on a respirator, it doesn't have, like, nothing. So what exactly is the problem here? Okay, so here we go, an update. The baby has had the operation now. Let's see what we get in this report.
But only after intervention from a High Court judge and police.
Last night, Justice Galt issued an emergency order telling the parents to stop blocking doctors' attempts to prepare for the operation.
A video of the confrontation between police and the family has been distributed on anti-vaccine platforms, and some people may find parts of this story upsetting.
See, here we go. This video has been circulating on anti-vaxxer platforms. Come on, like, see through this stuff.
Alice Wilkins has been following the story.
At Auckland Hospital late last night, police had to intervene to help health staff carry out pre-operation checks on the baby after facing resistance from the parents.
You guys are criminals! You are criminals! You are conducting a criminal act here!
So, who's filming this? There's some random person filming it all.
Family cannot be identified because of a court suppression order. This video
can't be identified, yet there are videos all over the internet showing her face and his face and the cop's face and everybody's face.
And for the family is being circulated on anti-vaccination platforms.
You are a criminal. You will not be part of the surgery tomorrow. We do not authorise any of that.
I just want to tell you what's happening.
No, we're not listening to what you got to say.
So notice how they edited it. Doesn't really show what really happened. Doesn't paint the whole picture. They clipped it to show the drama. They just want to give you the impression of something that happened, but nothing happened.
It came after the judge issued a further ruling after hearing from lawyers for Health New Zealand, saying health staff have...
So even if the judge ruled that the staff needed to perform pre-op, this is standard procedure with any operation, and no hospital would ever take a patient without first informing them or the parent of what they were going to do. It takes hours for a hospital to prepare for a procedure, and yet the news tries to give the impression that it just happened minutes before they took the baby.
Endeavoured to take steps to prepare the baby for surgery, including taking blood tests, performing a chest x-ray and performing anaesthetic assessment. He continued, council understands that the parents prevented this occurring and advised health staff that you touch our child and we will press criminal charges against you.
See, this doesn't make any sense. They know the procedure's coming, they know their child needs this procedure, and yet they're raising a stink about the pre-op stuff. It just doesn't make any sense. The pre-op stuff is not an issue. It's the actual operation that's the issue for these parents.
I just need to be with him. I will go with him. You can do what you need to do, but I need to be with him because he...
You can do what you need to do. So the issue is not that they need to do something to the baby. The issue is not that they took the baby. She needs to be with him. So what is the drama?
Needs to be with his mother.
We will talk to the hospital staff.
Justice Galt said in his minute that it was previously common ground that the baby required heart surgery, but now it seemed necessary to make further orders for that to go ahead. He extended the order of the court so that the two medical agents could carry out pre-operative checks on the baby and ordered the respondents in this case, the family, his parents, not to obstruct health staff.
You do not need to do the operation.
But a cardiologist with expertise in the field who spoke to News Hub said the risk for a child with pulmonary valve stenosis is very real. They told us the chances of this baby having a stroke, which would be permanent and disabling and could even be fatal, is high. The longer we wait, the greater the chance, because the right ventricle will slowly, steadily fail. It'll get worse. The parents in this case wanted surgery using blood from unvaccinated people and said they had found their own donors. But they lost that argument when guardianship of their baby was given to court.
Know that I'm a parent too, and I don't pretend to know what you're going through at the moment. But I can't imagine that, you know, what you're thinking at the moment and what you're going through.
The court had ruled the operation was in the baby's best interests, and that has now been carried out.
So what I think this is all about is while these people push your buttons into an uprising against this sort of behavior, they simultaneously suppress you by telling you you will get arrested. Guaranteed, this story is not over. Guaranteed, they will have another story later on about serious issues to do with this baby due to it receiving vaccinated blood. Guaranteed. They wouldn't make this big of a stink about this if they weren't going to follow it up with why it was so bad that this baby received vaccinated blood. I think that's about enough for this topic. I don't usually do these types of videos anymore, but I felt like this one was necessary because it's happening all over again. They're doing the same thing they did 2 years ago. Pay attention. Listen to what they're saying. Does it match the video? Use a critical eye. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.